Our Vikings.com NFL Combine coverage continues. I'm alongside Monday Morning Quarterbacks Albert Breer. And Al, you've gotten pretty close to our front office. What are they feeling like this free agency?
I think they're in a really good spot.
Yeah?
Because I think that they've put themselves in a position where the financials are clean, and obviously there's a track record of winning there now. And I think you even look at like the success that some of the people that they've brought in over the last couple of years on the free agent side, Van Ginkel, Grenard, that really helps you when it comes to finding a way to recruit guys. And the NFLPA survey, I think that helps them too.
Yeah.
I think it's hard for Minneapolis to ever be a destination for players, but they've done a good job making it one as much as they can.
Come on, you've been in the summers. I see
like
you at training camp.
No,
it's so
I like
nice
it. I like
know.
it there, but it's Miami's Miami, LA is LA.
That's fair.
So,
that's
yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
Where do you see their biggest position of need being heading into this free agency and draft?
I would say, certainly, the offensive line. What are you doing on the interior of the offensive line? Getting Christian Darrisaw back from injury, that timeline, how's that going to work out? Those would be the things to watch, I think, on offense. Almost all of it, I think, is kind of in that group. Obviously the Aaron Jones thing. If there's not a resolution there, do you go into the draft at running back? And it's a great draft to be looking for a running back. And then I think defensively, maybe feeding the back end, and you're eventually going to be replacing Harrison Smith back there. At corner, can you add some bodies there? So that's probably where I would be looking if I was the Vikings.
For the second straight year, we have a quarterback talking topic. It's pretty much whatever around here is really talking about, especially with 2 weeks free agency and that market opening up. How do you see that situation playing out for the Vikings?
I think they're in a position of strength. I mean, I know they like a lot of things about JJ. JJ made a real push in August where it was a discussion before he got hurt. Now, I think the reality of it is that you lose 4 months of development time. The good news is the second surgery was just a cleanup. But you do lose 4 months of development time. And, I think a big piece of this for them is going to be seeing JJ in the form that he is going to be playing at in September. And, over the next few weeks, where's his weight? Physically, how's he doing? I think those are all like things that play into how heavy you might lean into an insurance policy behind him. And whether or not you're going to make a real hard push to keep Sam. And so, I think the decision coming up on Sam and the tag is obviously out there. And I think the likelihood all along has been that they would let him go to the market. If he goes to the market, where's your price as far as what you're willing to do to keep him? I think they're still very open to keeping him. But, they're at a place, I think, with JJ where, if a couple things fall into place over the next couple of weeks, they could be comfortable going with him. And then I think if Sam winds up gone and you have any sort of uneasiness over JJ, you had Daniel Jones around last year. Maybe he could be somebody that you could bring back as an insurance policy.
Quite a quarterback room.
So you have some options there for sure.
That's for sure. Well, the regular season was obviously a huge success, 14 wins. And my question for you is, how are they able to translate regular season success into postseason success? It's something KOC tried to talk about yesterday.
Yeah, I think it's hard for those guys to talk about that in March. You know what I mean? But I do think a big piece of it comes down to winning on the margins, and where the difference in talent across the NFL is pretty tight, and the playoffs is even tighter. And so, how are you playing on third down? How are you in long yardage? How are you in the red zone? I think those sorts of things contribute, and that's where you need your best players to be at their best. So what does your quarterback look like in those situations? How is Justin Jefferson playing in those situations? Do you have playmakers on defense where when you need a key stop, you can get it because this guy is going to be the best player on the field? I really believe that. Really winning in the playoffs is about having your best players be at their very best and beating the best players in the field. I think you saw it in the Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
Where the Eagles, their edge that they had built on the lines of scrimmage really showed up in so many different ways. Whether it was Jalen Hurts not being breathed on all day or Patrick Mahomes under constant duress, the Chiefs didn't have a chance because the Eagles' strengths really showed up. And so that, to me, is the thing, is your strengths need to show up in the biggest way in January and February.
And that all starts right now. As we go 2 weeks away from free agency, they start roster building there, then the draft in a month or two. So, well, no, actually a month. No, 2
We're
months.
a month and a half away, I think. I don't know.
Honestly, I'm
No, it's 2
surprised
months,
it's
2
still
months.
February,
2
if I'm
months,
honest.
Yeah. 2 months, yep.
Well, thank you so much, Albert. We appreciate your insight.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.